All right, hello and welcome. We are live. We'll get things going here in a few minutes, starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time Zone. But for now, we will be doing a little pre-show, a little warm-up exercise. I got to get everything situated here on the YouTube end of the live stream. Make sure everything's running properly. Got to hit the share button a couple of times. Get the word out there. Let everybody know we are live. Coming at you live every Sunday, 6 o'clock Central Time Zone. We'll let you go ahead and crunch the arithmetic, plus or minus wherever you're located at. Excuse me. So, thanks for joining in. Should have another good one. It's kind of interesting what you learn when you start digging through some of the older patterns. I'm working through my book, my Norwegian book, the Flytime Encyclopedia. But it's all in Norwegian, so you just have to roll with it, I guess. We are on the letter O on the A to Z tying series. And I got a tickle in my throat before we're starting. I'm trying to wet my whistle with a beverage. It won a blue ribbon way back in the day. Gotta love beverages that win blue ribbons. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nod, nod, nudge, nudge. But always enjoy your blue ribbon beverages responsibly. Avoid where prohibited. Not available in all states. So who do we have out there? Who do we have on right away? As soon as we hit the waves, I always have a couple. I always get excited when I post a new video. You know, I'm a data guy. I'm a numbers guy. I love seeing the numbers for the view count jump up every so often. You know, it's just, I don't know if every YouTube creator kind of goes through a phase where they just like watching the numbers and the data, everything bounce and ebb and flow. But it's always fun when I upload a video, and before I even have a chance to share it, I have a couple of views, which is always, it means we got some good quality subscribers out there checking out, following along right away. We have Jimmy. Jimmy is in the house. Welcome, Jimmy. So we are doing the letter O. I'll be doing an actual video on this one here in a little bit. Let's see, what is it called? Yes. Let's crack the old book open. LMN O. O is before P. P is going to be a fun one. I got a lot of options in the letter P, so not so much for the letter O. A lot of olives this and orange that. But we are actually doing neither. No orange, no olive. I almost did what's called an otter, O-T-T-A-R. However that's pronounced, translated into English. I don't know. That's one of the things that my Google Translate, I don't know if it's just a feature I'm not using, but anywho, we'll go ahead and get this started here in about a minute. So what we are working on today is the Oliver Kite Nymph. There's our little picture of it way up there. So There's a little bit of the description all in Norwegian. Oh no, sorry about that, everybody. We just knocked the whole camera over. That's what I get for reaching over. Sorry about that. No, the world is not coming undone. I'm sure it happens to the best of us. We're a live stream. And see, that's the beauty of the live stream. You never know what's going to happen. You know, if I was just recording, you know, it'd be a take 2, take 3, take 4, take 5. I don't know. But hopefully I didn't rock and roll everybody too much. We'll get this bodkin out of the way. Messing with my shot. We'll get our vise situated and lined up. So this is going to be the Oliver Kite Nymph. Zoom in. And here we go. So I've experimented a little bit back and forth. And originally being an old, I don't know, from what I understand, it's an old classic pattern. So I was originally going to tie it up on these Gellick Supreme hooks. These are just a regular down eye, regular wire, regular length. You know, it's a good solid hook. But I got a little pre-order love here. And this is a Mustad 60, or not a Mustad. I'm so used to saying Mustads and herders. My throat, my tickle. Firehole 609. 609. There's no O's in the numeric system. So that's what we're going to be using tonight. I'm really falling in love with these barbless hooks. You know, first and foremost, you know, if you get something out of the package that's like this, and it's got a barb on it, you really have to twist and turn to get everything perfectly lined up. And with the barbless, done. We're done. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this in the vise. We'll get this started. I got 6 o'clock. You got 6 o'clock Central Time Zone. Translated from wherever you are. We'll get this sucker started. Alright. We'll bump our lights on. Alright, to start this off, I'm going to use this 210 Danville's nylon. It's kind of a grayish, kind of a blue dun color. And I'm going to start off, and the only thing I'm using this for is for the ribbing. But to keep things simple, I'm just going to cast it on like it's a normal thread. Take a few turns. Trim off our tag end. And we'll just continue our wraps to the bend of that hook. It's as simple as that. Once that's tied on, we can set that out of the way. Let it hang out. And then we're going to get to our regular tie thread. Now this is, I don't know the actual size of this, but in comparison it's a lot thinner. One of those no label spools. And I have had a couple issues of it breaking from time to time, but I'm willing to look beyond that. When it does work, it's working good. So we'll go ahead and cast this on, and we're going to take this all the way to the bend of the hook. Right there. We'll just park it there. Alright. Tail on this Oliver Kite Nymph is a light brown. It's kind of a gingerish, but light brown enough for me. And I'm just going to go ahead and take a feather off of the back side here. Nice, large, webby Debbie. And just to keep things clean, I'm going to trim that off. Alright, we're going for just the fibers here. So, We're going to line the tips on a small section and give it the old quick magician's pull. 1, 2, 3, abracadabra. Alright, got our tips lined up. About a hook's length. We're going to just lock that in here on the back side. And we'll run our thread forward. We could just go ahead and lock the rest of this down up here. Take our thread back. I'm going to park it right there at that tip of that hook. You know, it's interesting because I'm so used to tying with hooks with barbs on them. I use that tip of the barb as a reference point quite often. And not having that, you just really have to pay attention as to where the bend of the hooks are and this and that, which I'm getting used to. Alright, I have natural dubbing. Presumably this is a rabbit or possibly mink. It's got some superfine in there. It's a little mixture. You know, when you get hand-me-down materials and they don't come really labeled, who knows? Who knows? It's not synthetic, I know that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and wax our thread in 3D, which I believe you can do. I believe most YouTube videos, if you have one of those little stereoscope goggles you can set your phone into, you can watch just regular videos in that stereoscope. Alright, a little bit of dubbing. As we all know, with our dub, less is more. I'll take a little pinch in my left hand, and I slowly just kind of pinch it onto the thread. We're going nice and sparse here. Alright, once it's kind of evenly distributed, continue to pinch and twist, pinch and twist. Always going in that same direction, because then you're dubbing and undubbing, which is what's the point of that. Alright, so I started a little ways away from that bend of that hook where I'm going to take my dubbing. That's just in case I have a couple of extra wraps of thread I need to burn. That way I'm not building up an additional bulk right where I want my dubbing to start. I'm taking really close, slightly, ever so slightly touching and overlapping wraps. I'm really not trying to build up any bulk here. Keeping it nice and clean. I'm just going to keep dubbing my way forward. And I can build up just a little bit. If you do any kind of taper, just do a slight taper. Working the material forward just one wrap at a time. And that'll take us about to the eye of the hook. Alright, so with this next portion, like I said, I'm using this thread just as a ribbing. And I'm not going to worry about taking this as counter wraps. I'm just going to take almost touching wrap. So it's a spiral, it's an open spiral, but these threads are just leaving the slightest gap in between the wraps of thread. So this 210 denier is essentially the body, and the dubbing underneath becomes the inverse ribbing, if you will. If that makes any sense whatsoever, let me know. So do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button if you're watching. Give me that thumbs up, hit that like. What that does is that helps YouTube figure out what videos to promote. If a video has additional likes on it, it gets put out there into the YouTube universe a little bit further ahead. All right, we're gonna switch threads. I'll park this, the main dubbing thread, I'm gonna call it. I'll park that in the rear. And we'll go ahead and just finish off our ribbing, our 210 denier. Kind of that grayish, bluish, dunish. Couple of turns. And, you know, I could have just used this as the main tying thread and just left a long tag. But, you know, this really builds up a lot of bulk, especially at the head when you're trying to keep things clean. And, you know, I don't want to build up an additional thread head up here. All right, so we'll get that main tying thread back in the mix. And nice and close on this body. I'm just going to give this a nice close trim. I don't want too much additional fiber sticking out of here. I want the body to be relatively clean. So after this fly, we're going to tie up something else that came up when I Googled the Oliver kite nymph. Yeah, no kidding. Where is everyone? I see we got it says 4 people watching, but I don't know where everybody is. It's a quiet group today. I don't know. I mean, what are you working on? What patterns? I'll throw that out there. What is your next pattern that you will be working on, that you anticipate? All right, we're going to build up a little bit of a thorax. Same dubbing. I just need to... Oh yeah, doing up the Muddy Bunny. Gotta give my camera just a little bump there. That's a fun pattern. I really enjoyed that little Muddy Bunny. This little guy. And I did tie one with a piece of, oh, what did I use? I used a piece of mono to keep the tail up a little bit. So once we're waxed, then we get ready to dub again. Again, less is more. I think I have twice as much as what I initially need. You know, always go back and add more. So we'll just touch this on. Spread it around initially. You just, to start, you just want it barely, almost like a static cling going on to that thread. You almost want just the static to hold it on. Kind of a freak occurrence that the dubbing is actually sticking. So we're going to build up that thorax. Doesn't take much. Take it right to the back side of that eye. And I'm going to do just a touch more. The Muddy Bunny. Muddy Bunny, Muddy Bunny, Muddy Bunny. Say that 10 times fast. I had to say that like 10,000 times just to remember it. I don't know. Maybe nobody... Maybe we have such a small crowd tonight. Almost Labor Day weekend. We will be doing this live stream next weekend. Labor Day weekend. Alright, here we go. We're up front again. You know how I'm going to finish this off. I'll give it the old 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I just realized I'm so used to not having this. We'll see if that helps but doesn't help. A little hot there. I can change the lighting. Alright, so on the thorax fibers, I'm not going to trim with the scissors because I don't want to leave any kind of rough or straight cuts in there, but a couple longer guard hairs. We're going to see if we can't tweeze those out. Yeah, you know what, we'll just leave it in there. We'll just leave it in there. Except it's gonna drive me nuts knowing it's in there, so I'm just gonna take my scissors. Goodbye and goodbye. The rest can stay. We'll leave the rest except for these two. There we go. You want it to look buggy. Sometimes you get a couple of others that I don't know what's better with the what background is better, the black or white? It kind of blows it out though. That's the problem with the live streams and this and that. You have no, at least as an amateur hack like me, you really don't have much control over, you know, white balance and this and that. I can zoom and I can pan and tilt. That's about all. So, moving forward. So this was my options were using this fire stick, or I was, you know, originally I was going to use this all right, we're back. I don't know why it does that. Random interferences of the Wi-Fi. But yeah, just the difference in the overall dimensions. But, you know, size 12. Both those tip hooks are right there. Got the length of the hook is right there. You know, what's different about these fire holes is the bend, and of course there's no barb. I like them. I like the hashtag stupid sharp. So let's go ahead and pull out another fire stick hole. Way to go, fire hole. These are, again, this is the size 12. And when I was looking up the Oliver Kite nymph pattern we just finished up tying, one of the patterns that I did see a bit of was the Bear Hook nymph. It's a nymph made solely out of hook and wire. So we're going to start this off with some small brown copper, and this is just for fun here. I'm not going to use any thread. This is just going to be the copper wire. So let's see here. I got the copper, or the brown, copper brown, and then I got the, we'll throw some of, yeah, this will be all right. And we're going to do a copper and copper, kind of a wire ribbing mash up, mix up. We'll see what happens here. So I'm just going to lock it forward just like I do regular tying thread. And I'm going to take this all the way to that bend. Why not? playing with wire and hooks. So I think this will be the declared tie of the week right here. I think this is going to be unique. I don't think I'm going to do a, I don't know, I might do a step-by-step video on this if it turns out halfway decent. Alright, so we're going to leave that right there, nice and tight. We're going to trim that off. Get that one out of the way. And let's go ahead and do our counter wraps with this lighter colored copper. Oh, with this evenly spaced. I guess as we get a little bit closer there, just the pressure of it lifts and kind of separates it. Alright, and here we go. We'll see if this works. We're going to switch it up to, this is actually an extra small. I wish this was a little bit bigger, but it is what it is. And we'll see if this, how we do here with this. I'm just going to try to build up a little head, a little green head here with just the wire. One little tag end to trim off. We'll get to that right now. I'm just going to build this up. Build a little green head up front. And I don't know, what do you think? I think it needs just a little hot spot. We'll give it a little hot collar. Let's add a little bit of hot orange. We'll see how that works right back here. I like it. And I think this might actually help hold it all together. It's just a little dab of glue, yeah. Just let that soak in. So that's what came up when I was looking up. Well, not that. That was just a little more into it than just your typical, I guess, your standard bear hook nymph with wire wrappings. We'll get that. I don't know. Should sink like a stone. You tell me. I don't know. Boy, you guys are a quiet bunch out there today. Nobody but Jimmy has said a peep. You know, it's too bad. I was thinking about doing a little giveaway here tonight. I was going to give away a book, but I don't remember where I put the book. So we'll have to do that next time. Anywho, let's see, what do we want to do here? Let's go ahead and we'll move on. Move on or move back. What do you think, Jimmy? What should we do here? These ones are quick and easy ties. You know, sometimes I try to fill up this whole hour slot, but I don't know. Should we do another Another wire one, or should we do another white one? We just crossed the threshold on Instagram. We hit just rolled over 400 followers, which is pretty cool. All right, we have one vote, the one and only vote to do the Oliver kite, which is out of the book. So we'll need a hook. Again, these are the fire holes. You know, at first I was like, boy, you know, I've been on the fence on, you know, buying any kind of new hooks, because you know how I love these old vintage ones. But then I saw a posting on a pre-sale, and the price is right. You can't buy regular hooks at the price of that pre-sale, let alone these nice barbless. You know, I got the 609s in a size 12, and I got it in size 16. And then I got the slightly heavier, the 637s in a size 16. And then I got two sizes of dry, 18s and 20s. So, you know, we'll see how they fish. I mean, I'm not going to be fishing these until next year, so I don't know. I'm taking a leap of faith on these. So let's go ahead and get this started again. So this is that size 12 Firehole 609. Just a basic nymph hook. Kind of a blue, kind of a dark gray blue dun 210. We'll just start this off like we do any other fly. Take a few wraps, trim off that tag end. And this is just my ribbing material. I like it because it lays out nice and flat. I'll set that out of the way. And then we'll cast on our tying thread. We're going to work this down towards the bend of the hook. And we'll park our thread there. We're going to check our watches. We're going to grab some hackle. Line up the tips. It's really nice on this bottom section because it can just kind of bends and folds and twists and turns. Like a magician. 1, 2, 3. There you go. I'm going to take a hook's length. I'll tie that in for the tail. Couple of tight wraps, and we'll just sneak our thread forward. And we can work our... Oh, see, that's what I was talking about, that thread breaking. Yeah, I really like those stickers. I'll say out of that whole lot, my favorite one, I got two that I had a different one originally from Yellowstone, but I saw that blue one. I really fell in love with that one, and I forget where I was when I picked up that second one with all the different names of the rivers. All right, so once again, broken thread. No use crying over spilt milk. I'm just going to pick up where I left off and secure that in. I really enjoy those. You know, the Blue Ribbon Fly Shop. That's, if you're ever in West Yellowstone, Blue Ribbon Flies. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, it's like, you know, you hear about the, you know, the owners, Craig Matthews, and you know, I came in one day and he's sitting there, you know, just tying flies. I mean, Craig Matthews himself sitting there at the bench tying flies. You know, same thing when I went to, not quite the same thing, when I went to the Slide-In. Kelly Gallup, you know, he's back there behind the counter working hard. He wasn't tying or anything, but, you know, he's back there working the counter. And it's work out there. I mean, it's fun and games here for me. But I don't know. All right, we're going to add a little touch of wax. A little touch of wax just to get that going. Small, little tough. Small, little tough. I will say, dubbing is probably the hardest thing to do with the camera located where it is. But I personally prefer seeing the tire's point of view. You know, I'm sure everybody wants to see my pretty face, but whatever. Or what shirt I'm wearing. I'm wearing a shirt that I got in college. It's from the St. Cloud State University Student Veterans Organization. It's old, it's faded. We're going to take some tight wraps, tight wraps, touching wraps. Working this body on, this underbody. You know, with the floss. Original recipe, you know, called for, you know, kind of a bluish floss or whatnot. And I'm substituting with this 210 denier. And, you know, it's essentially, it is a floss. So let's go ahead and take that floss forward. We're gonna do almost touching wraps. This thing's even so flossed out right now. It's got a little split end. So I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna take one wrap underneath. And that's gonna help bind that all together. Here we go. Just a little, we just want just a little bit of that dubbing to come through the cracks. Just a little bit to come through, not too much. And even though on this front portion, you know, this is all going to get covered again, so you can space it out a little bit up front. Switch bobbins, and we can go ahead and finish this with a whip finish. And you see how much real estate just that 1, 2, 3 turns took up with the 210 denier on there. Alright, and before we dub the thorax, I'm just going to give this a little bit of a trim here. Excellent. And, you know, after it gets wet a couple of times, you know, a lot of it's going to peel its way through and do its own thing. chicken wing. All right, let's add a little bit of dubbing for that thorax. Oh, I'm going to add just a touch of wax. A little bit in the left hand, and I just slide my thread and just slowly tweeze it off. Take little pinches, a little bit on at a time. Less is more. We know that by now, right? Less is more. Less is more or less. All right, let's go ahead and give that a try. Couple of wraps, build that up. We'll take this about to that thorax distance, at 1/3, 2/3. So 2/3 will have that body in the back. And that front third of the hook will just be just the dub. I'm satisfied. 1, 2, 3 turns on the whip finish. And that broke off, so I'm just gonna, I don't know where it broke. So I'm just gonna do a quick couple more locking wraps just on there in the head. That way I don't have to worry all night long whether that whip finish is gonna stay. There we go. But I know I do have a couple, it just must be a couple of weak spots on that thread. There we go. I like it. I like it. That's an Oliver Kite nymph. So yeah, I was gonna, you know, maybe one of these days if we can get maybe next week, we'll have to, I'll put it out there. Who do we have watching right now? I know I have Jimmy. I got Jimmy and 3 other people watching. Who's out there? Let's do a shout out. I'll do a shout out to Jimmy because he's watching. Because I want to put it out there that maybe next Sunday, if we can get the viewership up towards, if we can get the, you know, if we can get double digits on people watching, because right now it says I have 4 people, 4 viewers. I don't know if you see the same. I might be 1 because I have the other computer up and running, even though it's logged in as me. Who knows? But if we can get the viewers in the double digits, my buddy Ron sent me some stickers, and we'll hook these up. I'll mail a couple of these stickers out. So next week, if we can get into the double digits, I'll pass out a couple of these Fly Life stickers. So that's going to be next week's challenge. I can only do so much. I'm depending on you, my viewers, to hit that share button, hit that like button, and tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your old ladies, tell your boyfriends, tell whoever. Come on over. All Tied Up Fly Tying School on YouTube. Sundays. It's a lot of fun. And it's a lot more fun when I got a lot of interaction. A lot of interaction happening. We had a small catastrophe. Had a little toppling tower action. Where I normally keep my book while I'm tying. And you know how things get. You start stacking things up, and as things get built up, they get knocked down. Yeah, that's where I put them. Yeah, so I have a couple of stickers to give away possibly next week. If we can get viewers in the double digits, I got these Fly Life companies. I got some reds. And I got some greens. These are fun stickers. I like them. Are these the window stickers? I don't know. I think they are. I think they're the clear background. No, they look like they're white background. I'm gonna cheat and give this a peek. Yeah, there we go. Fly Life. Fly Life. I like using the Fly Life Nation. Guy, I got my PJ Pigeon. Got my pigeon fly tying shirt hooked up the other day. And it's nice. The Fly Life company swag is really soft. That's one thing I will attest to, is how soft it is. It's like wearing an old shirt. A new shirt feeling like an old shirt. But alright, gang. I think it's quesadilla time for me. I'm gonna go upstairs and make some quesadillas. We're gonna cut this one a little short. Next week we'll pick things back up. I don't know, maybe we should do some thinking. After this goes into regular video mode, I got some bead chain at the hardware store. 49 cents a foot. Let's see, how many clousers, how many double bead eyes can I do? 2, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. So that's about 17 or so. That's about the halfway point. So about 34 sets of eyes for 49 cents. We'll chop those up. Leave a comment, something with a bead chain eye. We'll see if we can't possibly tie a couple of something up. We can do clousers if nothing else. Yeah, we'll carry on. All right, gang. Thanks for watching. Keep your eyes open for the next A to Z tie-in series. The O, that's the Oliver Kite. And we will, I don't know, I might record that tonight and produce and publish tomorrow. Alright, gang. Thanks for watching. Happy tying and tight lines.